Be ready. Start. Learned Counsel contended that at the stage of making a reference, it is the satisfaction of the President in relation to the nature of the question and its importance that is relevant. As a matter of comity of institutions, this court has always declined to go behind the reasons that prevailed upon the President to make a reference and its bona fides. Nevertheless, this court always has the discretion not to answer any such reference or the questions raised therein for good reasons. It was stressed that since this court does not sit in review over the satisfaction of the President, the question of jurisdiction and of maintainability does not arise. Learned Counsel also argued that the premise that earlier judgments of this court are binding in reference jurisdiction and thus any reference which impinges upon an earlier judgment should be returned unanswered is equally fallacious. It was argued that the principle of stare decisis and the doctrine of precedent are generally accepted and followed as rules of judicial discipline and not jurisdictional factors, and therefore this court is not prevented from re-examining the correctness of an earlier decision. On the contrary, the precedents support the proposition that this court can, when exercising its jurisdiction under Article 143(1), examine the correctness of past precedents. It is clear beyond any pale of doubt that the said pronouncement does not lay down as an abstract proposition of law that under Article 143(1) this court cannot consider the correctness of any precedent. What it lays down is that once a list between the parties is decided, the operative decree can only be opened by way of a review. According to the learned counsel, overruling a judgment as a precedent does not tantamount to reopening the decree. A bare reading at the article would show that it is couched in broad terms. It is plain from the language of Article 143(1) that it is not necessary that the question on which the opinion of the Supreme Court is sought must have actually arisen. The President can make a reference under the said article even at an anterior stage, namely at the stage when the President is satisfied that the question is likely to arise. The satisfaction whether the question meets the prerequisites of Article 143(1) is essentially a matter for the President to decide. Upon receipt of a reference under Article 143(1), the function of this court is to consider the reference, the questions on which the President has made the reference, on the facts as stated in the reference, and report to the President its opinion thereon. Nevertheless, the usage of the word may in the latter part of Article 143(1) implies that this court is not bound to render advisory opinion in every reference and may refuse to express its opinion for strong, compelling, and good reasons. There is no denying the fact that in the entire reference the word doubt has not been used. It is also true that in all previous references noted in para 5 supra, it had been specifically mentioned that doubts had arisen about various issues. Nonetheless, the fact remains that Article 143 one does not use the term doubt. No specific format has been provided in any of the schedules of the Constitution as to how a reference is to be drawn. The use of the word doubt in a reference is also not a constitutional command or mandate. Needless to emphasize that the expression doubt, which refers to a state of uncertainty, may be with regard to a fact or a principle. These terms express the act of the mind in staying its decision. Doubt lies altogether in the mind. It is a less active feeling than question. By the former, we merely suspend decision. By the latter, we actually demand proofs in order to assist us in deciding. We may doubt in silence. We cannot question without expressing it directly or indirectly. He who suggests doubts does it with caution. He who makes a question throws in difficulties with a degree of confidence. We doubt the truth of a position. We question the veracity of an author. Uncertainty of mind, the absence of a settled opinion or conviction, the attitude of mind towards the acceptance of or belief in a proposition, theory, or statement in which the judgment is not at rest but inclines alternately to either side. Whether the only permissible method for disposal of all natural resources across all sectors and in all circumstances is by the conduct of auctions. Thank you.